Hello friends. Uh, Now it's that part of the period wherein your exam results are out, and you'll be looking at exploring new job opportunities. You'll be looking at exploring new life dimensions. Yes, some of my students and all, they were talking about you on how to prepare for an interview. Maybe in the later series we'll be talking about how to face an interview. Today we are going to be talking specifically about how do you prepare yourself before the interview, so that keep all the checklists ready, you keep everything ready, and you can be more geared up when you actually face the interview. So now the first and foremost thing which is very important is you should know about the organization where you're applying, where you're going to go for an interview. That is very important because knowing about the organization, knowing about the work culture of that organization, it will help you. So please go through the website of the organization. It helps you a lot understanding about the organization, about the people, about the leadership team, the work culture they carry, and so on. Like, also it is very important that you understand where are the probably the factories of that organization, or where are the sales offices of that organization. So that is something, it helps you understand more about the organization. Maybe some discussion comes across in the interview, and you are in a position to answer on those things as well. It is simultaneously important to know about the turnover of the company, what are the stakeholders of the company. Just having a brief, depending on the kind of role you are applying, the interview could have a discussion on those things. So prepare yourself on that. Another very important point which is important is the job description. Now you are actually going to do that job, so you should be sure on what is the job description, what is it that you're supposed to do in that particular job. You should go through those things properly, do some research on the kind of job it is. It should not happen that you again within the interview itself you are unaware of what is going to be the job description. So it's a a pre homework where you should be clear on the job description. Yeah, you may still ask questions at the time of interview, but you should be sure on these things like pre-hand itself. So that is an aspect which is there. Now another thing which is important is when you're talking about the organization and the job description, whether that job is going to be a day job, night job, what are going to be the timings, what is going to be the work location. So those are again the things which you should check it, if possible try to gather that information before the interview itself. So that will help you, because you probably may not have to get into those questions at the time of discussion. So it can help you if you're aware of it, so that it's not a surprise to you at the time of interview again. So do this primary homework, which will help you in terms of understanding these things. So okay, now another thing is in terms of when you're going for an interview, how do you take care of your like leaves, so if you're already on job, whether you have planned your half day or you have planned your leave. That is something which is important, because if you don't plan that, it is going to be messing up things on the last moment. So you don't want that. You applying for the job means you are definitely interested in it, and you want things to go well. So plan things in advance, plan your leave or half day schedule in advance. And also it is very important that you plan your travel time in advance. Okay, so if in case the interview is at say 3:30, so how much time will it take you from their current location to that particular interview location? So that is something which you should plan out in advance, whether the travel time is going to be 1 hour, 2 hour. So you should try and see that you reach at least 15 minutes prior to the interview, so that you can inform the concern, you can freshen up, you can be relaxed, maybe have a glass of water. It will just smoothen your nerves. So that is something which you should work upon, so that will simultaneously help you. Okay, so yes, travel time is important. The mode of travel is also important, whether you're going to be traveling through your own vehicle, or you're going to be using public transport. So just plan things in advance, so that will simultaneously help you, overall, to avoid any last moment nervousness on these aspects as well. Okay, yes, it is very important that you should not be nervous. You should be very confident, when you are preparing yourself, as well as when you are appearing for an interview, so both the things go extremely important, so yes, work on that particular part, work on things. And yeah, getting the name of the interviewer. If you could know who is the interviewer, who will be interviewing you, maybe you could go through his LinkedIn profile, Google something, depending on the seniority of the person, the information could be available. So yes, do some research on that. That will simultaneously help you understand the personality whom you're going to meet in the interview. So do some pre homework on that. Another important point which comes in is always carry at least 2 copy of biodata with you. It should not happen that you reach there and inform the HR that I forgot biodata. It's not something which should happen. So please prepare yourself wherein you have at least 2 set of decent biodatas available with you. Take a fresh printout. Don't take Xeroxes. It's really not done. Um, like you know the paper quality should be good, so that when the interviewer holds your biodata firmly in his hand, his or her hand, it should be creating some impact or impression about you as well. So yes, initially it's the biodata which speaks. So please see that your resume is being prepared properly. You have considered all the points which should be in the resume. And so we already have another video which talks of resume writing. So maybe if you wish to refer that, you could do that. And it will give you some more tips in our coming series as well. So talking about it, you're keeping your biodata ready, and you're handing it over to that particular person. So apart from it, just make sure that you are wearing formals. It is very important. You go for an interview, you are not wearing a t-shirt, or in formals. It may not go well in most of the kind of discussions. Maybe in some creative professions it's a different scenario, but then in most of the interviews, formals would be preferred. Depending on the kind of role and the seniority, you may wear a tie, or you may even prefer to wear a blazer, which would enhance your personality. So my friends, these are just a few of my ideas, few of my thoughts which I wanted to share with you. I hope my students who have been requesting to prepare this video from a long time, and they'll be happy with it, and we'll be coming up with more videos as well. So I wish all my good wishes for you all who is watching this video, to that you prepare yourself nicely for the interview, and you become successful in terms of gaining a good job, and have a great career, successful career ahead. Wish you all the best for that. If you like this video, do click on the subscribe button, like button, share button, and yes, you will keep on receiving the new updates that we keep on adding out, and I'm sure things will go good for you as well. So wish you all the best. Take care. Bye bye.